Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Let's just wait a few minutes for people to arrive, and then we are going to learn some advanced vocabulary words. Welcome from Bangladesh. All right, let me pull up a list of words that we're going to use today. Let's start with yeah, we'll start with this one. These are not too difficult. These are pretty easy, but it's a good one to start with. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to try to zoom this in. Let's see how well I can zoom in here. But see, that becomes a problem. So I can't zoom in. That's a big problem. Why is that doing that? I can't zoom in. Well, this is slightly tricky. Let me try something else here. Hold on one moment. Let me try to download the picture and upload it a different way. Let's see if that will help. Let's see. Now, is that going to make a difference? Open with photos. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now we can do this again. Let's try this again. There we go. Now you should be able to read it. So the first thing we're starting with today is 100 important IELTS synonyms. Okay, IELTS synonyms. So these are words that you should know so that you don't use the same words over and over again, and so that you know what some good alternative words are, some different words that you can say. All right? So we're going to look at these here. All right, so let's start with the word adults. What are some other ways to say adults? You can say grown-ups. You can say mature individuals. Okay? So, in English, we don't like to use the same word over and over again. So if you're talking about adults, then sometimes you should use the word adults, and sometimes you should use the word grown-ups, and sometimes you should use the words mature individual. Okay? We like variety. We don't like a lot of repetition. Okay? So adults, grown-ups, and mature individuals. Okay? Then we have the word advantage. What's another way to say advantage? What's another way to say advantage? Hello, Tim. Hello, everyone. A benefit, right? Yeah, merit, upside, right? So what is the advantage to this this plan? What is the benefit to this plan? What are the merits to this plan? What are the upsides to this plan? Okay, what are the benefits? What are the merits? What are the upsides? What are the advantages? Okay, that's a good one. All right. Yeah, the upside. Sometimes we talk about the upside. What's the upside and what's the downside? What's the upside means what's the good part? What are the positive things? What's the downside means what are the negative things? What are the cons? Okay? Pros and cons. Upside and downside. All right? And hello, Carlos. We have afraid. You can say I'm afraid, or you can say I'm scared, or you can say I'm frightened, or you can say I'm terrified. Okay? So, to be honest with you, none of these words really, so far, are advanced vocabulary. Today's topic is advanced vocabulary words, so these are actually not advanced, but it's really important that you need to know more than just one simple word or simple way to describe something. You need multiple ways to describe things in simple form. So most of these words are pretty simple B1, B2 level, okay? But it's important to know them so that you have variety, that you're not saying the same words over and over again. Okay? Jazzy says, what's the difference between scary and afraid? So, Jazzy, the word scary, if I say it's scary, that means that thing is scary, like that monster is scary. Okay? But I feel scared. So the feeling that I have is I am scared. Why am I scared? I am scared because something is scary. Okay? So a thing can be scary and you are scared. Okay? And the word afraid is the same. Same meaning as scared. Okay? That's right. The thing is scary. I am scared. Just like the movie is boring, I am bored. Okay, Jazzy? All right. Now we go on to the next word here. To agree. I agree. I agree, or I consent. I consent, or I accept your terms. I accept your agreement. I accept your deal. I approve. I approve of these terms. I approve of this deal. Hello, Maura. You're just a few minutes late. We just got started just a couple minutes ago. We started with the word adults, and we're now on the word agree. So we've done 4 words so far. I am afraid is the same as I am scared, Jazzy. Yes. Okay, and remember, Jazzy, that's a big difference between Chinese and English. In Chinese, you'll always use the same word for scared, right? 害怕的, right? So almost everybody will always use the same word to describe that feeling. But in English, we think it sounds weird if we use the same word too many times. So if I say, the monster made me feel really scared, and I was so scared that I had to go talk to my mom, and I told my mom I was really scared. And then she told me, don't be scared, because there's nothing to be scared of. I used the word scared so many times that it sounds funny. So we change and we will say, I told my mom I felt terrified because something was really scary, and I was extremely nervous and worried and frightened, right? So we use different words, okay? Can you say accord with to mean agree? You can say let me think. We occasionally say in accordance with, which means in agreement with, but we don't often use the word I accord anymore. I think that the usage of that word has fallen out of popularity. So it used to be more popular many years ago, a couple hundred years ago maybe, but not so much anymore. Okay? Okay, Munyano, I don't know what that is or what that means, but please don't advertise things here if that's what you're doing. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's a meme. Okay, I don't understand. From TikTok. Oh, that's why I don't understand, because I don't really watch TikTok. Okay, let's move on to the next words. So the next words we have also. When you're using also, you can use many different versions of also. Also, I need to do this. Moreover, we should do this. In addition to that, we should do this. Besides that, we should do this. On top of that, we should do this. Okay, there are many ways to say also, and that's a good one. Okay? Plus means also. It can, yeah. Occasionally, yeah. Because plus means in addition to, right? And what do we have right here? In addition, right? Likewise, further, that's correct, Nora. Good, yeah, as well, therefore. That's right. There are many, many ways. Those words are actually very important. People who know how to use those words well, those are the words that connect your ideas. So that's the first word you say when you're about to connect a new idea. So it's good if you vary them, and it's good if you have a few that sound a little more advanced, a little more academic, right? Like moreover or therefore, right? Okay? Linking words, that's right. Yeah. Okay, all right, let's go on. So now we have my answer. What is your answer? What is your reply? What is your response? What is your acknowledgement? Or I answer, I reply, I respond, I acknowledge. Okay? All right, so that's that one there, right? What is your response? What is your reply? What is your answer? What is your acknowledgement? Did you acknowledge them? Did you respond? Did you reply? Did you answer? Okay? Are they used in different contexts? So what I would say to that, Nagam, is uh, in some cases, some of these words do have some contextual differences, right? Like certain words that sound more academic and certain words that sound less academic, right? Or words that might be used more in this circumstance but not in this circumstance. But on the whole, most of these are pretty interchangeable, okay? You can answer to a comment just like you can reply to the phone call. It's not common, but it can be used that way. All right? Nagam, remember that language is not prescriptive, it's descriptive. Okay? Prescriptive means to tell you what you should do. Descriptive just means describing something, right? To describe what's happening. So, you can reply to someone on the phone, and you can answer someone in a comment. Language is descriptive. You're describing things. It's not a math equation of you only can do this. All right? Pardon me. Okay. Let's see. Rejoinder. Now, that's not a common word. That's a word I wouldn't use too often. I would use that in written context and only in an academic form of some sort. You know, like maybe a paper I'm writing or a thesis I'm writing or perhaps some law, you know, in law, maybe you might use that word, right? But I wouldn't use it in most common contexts. I think in most common contexts, most people don't even know what rejoinder means. Unless you're a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, you'll know what that word means. In law, the rejoinder is the defendant's answer. Like when the defendant answers to something the plaintiff said, right? So they think you did something, they say you did it, and you answer somehow. That's your rejoinder. Okay? But that's definitely not a common word, and not one I would use in most situations. Okay? Okay, let's move on. To ask, you can ask a question or you can inquire about something. Okay, now here's one. These are a little bit more contextually different, right? Right? So, for example, to request something is different than to inquire about something, right? Inquiring is asking something. Requesting is asking if you can do something, right? If you have permission. So to request is usually asking permission for something. An inquiry is just asking information about something more, right? So, and the word ask is usually used as a verb, although it can be used as a noun. Somebody could say, I have an ask. I have an ask. I need to ask you something. I have an ask. And what that means is I have a favor I want to ask you. right? I have an ask means I have a favor. Like a big ask, right? Like that's a big ask. When someone says that's a big ask, that means that's a big favor to ask of me. Okay? What's the difference between require and request? To require, 这是需要的. Okay? Require is like need. You are required to do something. You must do it. You need to do it. 这是需要的. Okay? But to request is just to ask. I ask you to do this thing. Okay? You're required to do it is you must. I ask you to do it is 我要你做这个，你可以吗？ Okay? To acquire is to purchase something or to gain something. So to acquire something means to buy something or gain something somehow. Okay? That's right, to obtain. Right. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Now we have bad. Yes, it's very bad. Or it's poor. Or it's negative. Or it's harmful. Or it's detrimental. Detrimental. That's a good one. Detrimental. Yeah, awful, terrible, harmful. Words like bad, this is a word, good and bad are, those are two words that you should know at least 10 ways to say that another way. Because good and bad are so common. That's such a common concept that you should have many ways to say it's good or it's bad. Okay? It's wonderful, it's awesome, it's terrific, it's incredible, it's amazing, it's fantastic. Okay? It's terrible, it's awful, it's disgusting, it's abhorrent, it's loathsome, it's, you know, whatever. You know, you should have, yeah, dreadful, shoddy, there you go, good, right? So test yourself. Here's a good test for you. Every single day, I want you to write down the word good or the word bad, and I want you to think of as many different ways to say good or bad as you possibly can. Because again, these words are so common and they're so commonly used that it's important to have many, many alternatives. Okay? All right. Beautiful. There's another one. Beautiful. She's beautiful. She's attractive. She's pretty. She's lovely. She's gorgeous. She's alluring. Okay, there are many ways to say that too. Drop dead gorgeous, indeed. Exquisite, yes. Stunning, that's always one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I think stunning is a good compliment to give a woman. If your girl gets dressed up for you sometime, use that word. That's a good one. She'll like that. Fabulous, fantastic, gorgeous, charming. Sassy is a little different. Sassy is like you have a little attitude. You look pretty, but also with some attitude. That's sassy. So, diva, also, that's like with some attitude. So, the words diva and sassy are not quite the same because they imply that you look good, but that you also have a strong attitude. But being fascinating or beautiful or amazing, that doesn't imply an attitude. Okay? A man-eater. That's right, she's a man-eater. Have you ever heard that song? Great song from the 80s. Oh, here she comes. Good as hell. Carlos, you can say good as hell in casual context, right? So I say that when I'm like just a couple days ago, Carlos, I took my friend Stu to my favorite taqueria, and we had some really great tacos. And yeah, That's the kind of thing where if I'm with my friend and we're going to have some good tacos, yeah, I'll say, oh man, these tacos are good as hell. I'll say they're good as hell. They're amazing, right? Now, would I say that if I'm out to dinner at a fine dining restaurant in a formal environment? No, I wouldn't say it in that environment. But yeah, if you're in a casual environment, yeah, it's good as hell. Okay? You can say hot too, yeah. Hot definitely starts to become a little bit more, you're pushing towards things being like, you're not just beautiful, you're attractive, you're sexy, right? That's more like that, all right? Magnificent, sure. Look how smart she is. Yeah. Now, smart is a funny word to describe the looks of something, but it is used that way occasionally. But the word smart, when I hear someone is dressed smartly, I think it means like they're dressed very well, like they've prepared themselves very nicely for a somewhat formal occasion, usually business, right? To be dressed smartly. I think if you're dressed smartly, it looks like you're about to go to a serious business meeting and you look both serious and yet pretty. I think that's a good way to describe being smart looking in that case. Okay, smart has a couple meanings, right? Smart can be she looks smart means she looks intelligent. But in this case, we're not talking about your intelligence. We're just talking about the way you dressed. To look smart means to look well, clean, and put together nicely. Everything is in order. That's smart. Okay? Breathtaking, sure, that's a good one too. Appealing, could be, yeah. Appealing, I think, is... appealing is more a word we use to describe whether something can be good or not, right? Is it appealing or not appealing? Is it unappealing, right? So if I say this food looks very unappealing, it means it does not look yummy. It does not look like something I want to eat. If I say this food looks very appealing, it means it looks like something I would like to eat, right? So you can describe a person as appealing. You could, but in general, I usually use that term to describe a situation or food. Okay? Can you use breathtaking for people? Yes, you can. Absolutely, Amir. Sure. She looks breathtaking. Yeah. Amir, that's the way it's often used. When you see a woman and you think she's so beautiful that you go, she took your breath away with your beauty, or with her beauty, right? Just like a sunset can be breathtaking, where it's like, oh my goodness, look at this sunset. It's so amazing, right? A girl can be like that too, okay? Elegant, yeah, elegant is more formal. If I say you look very elegant, that means that you look like you're pretty, but in a very formal way. Pretty in a very formal way. Understand? Majestic would be a word that we use to describe usually scenery, like a mountain view, right? If you're looking at some mountains all across the horizon, beautiful mountains, you would say, wow, look at these majestic mountains. Majestic is a word like, you have to remember the way we use that word most commonly is to talk about a king, right? When they would talk to the king, they would say, yes, your majesty, or no, your majesty, right? So majestic was like royal. It was like kingly, right? It was like grand. Okay, so the word majestic is used to describe scenery that is kingly, like it's grand, it's incredible. Okay? Bonnie. Bonnie is a word that comes from Ireland, I believe. I think. A bonnie lass. Um, and yeah, it's an Irish word that just means pretty. It's an Irish word that just means pretty. We're going to have a few workers here coming to work on the house here for a few minutes, guys, so you might hear some noise in the background. All right, let's see what's next here. So yeah, bonnie is a word that comes from Ireland, and it's a word that just means, it's a slang term, an Irish slang term that just means beautiful. But it's usually used, I think, only for women, not for a beautiful sunset or something like that. I don't think you can say a bonnie sunset. I think you say a bonnie lass, a girl. Okay? Okay, adorable, lovely. Adorable's like cute, yeah. Lovely is a good one. Yes, stunning, good, radiant, good. Radiant is like yeah, like the sun. Yeah, these are good, guys. I'm impressed. You guys know a lot of words for beautiful. That's great. Gorgeous is good, yeah. Drop dead gorgeous. Flamboyant. Now, flamboyant, Lena, is like somehow you look like it's too much. Okay, so flamboyant is often a negative word. He's too flamboyant. She's too flamboyant. It's very flamboyant. It means, well, actually, let me look at the etymology of that word. I'm curious where that comes from. Flamboyant. It comes from French, flamboyer, which means to flame. Interesting. Oh, so it means like you're like a fire, like a little flame. Like you're a blazing, shining fire. Interesting. So, yeah, like a flame. So, to be flamboyant is to be overly, like you're drawing attention. Like everybody's looking at you because of what you look like. That's flamboyant behavior or clothing, okay? Right? So someone who looks flamboyant is someone who it looks like they want attention, okay? Like a fire that wants attention, okay? Captivating, that's a good one. Captivating means like my eyes are captive, which means they're like prisoner. They can't move. I can't look away. My eyes are captivating. My eyes are captive. Okay? You are captivating. My eyes are captive to you. Okay? Is Royal English harder than formal English? I don't know because I'm American. I don't know Royal English. We don't do royal things here in America. Enchanted. Enchanting, every once in a while, that was a word that used to be used. You can still use it. You look very enchanting tonight. That's a word that means beautiful. The word enchant comes from the word chant, and the word chant is a word that means singing, but it also was a word that meant like a magical spell. Okay, what's the word? What is it? Hold on, I'm thinking, what is the word? Incantation. Okay, there's a word called an incantation. Incantation is a magical spell, and it looks a lot like the word enchanted because they're related. Okay, so to be enchanting, to look enchanting means you look so beautiful, it's almost like someone cast a magical spell on me. Like they made me believe you're so beautiful. Okay? I was enchanted to meet you, right? So that's different. You look enchanting, I was enchanted. That means I felt like it was magical to meet you. It was magical. It was a magical moment to meet you, okay? Flamboyant is an ironic term. It is kind of now, but it didn't used to be. It does have a direct meaning, not an ironic meaning. Yes, Amir, I'm terribly sorry about everything that's happening in the news, and I do hope everyone will be okay and that this will end soon. I don't want to discuss it here because we can't, but you must know that every day I watch and think how my followers may be the ones being in danger. And I don't like that feeling at all. Okay, let me continue. I wish everyone will be okay. That's all I can say. You thought it means something very attractive or very noticeable. Which one was it? Lena was talking about what? Oh, flamboyant. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it means. It means very noticeable, and it means, I wouldn't say it means attractive, because again, flamboyant in a way, the word to me means like over the top. It's too much. It's too much. It's not just pretty. It's over the top. Okay? So I usually see the word used in a somewhat negative sense. Okay? Like trying hard to look good, similar. Yes, that's right. Yeah. I got enchanted with Disneyland. Right, that means like Disneyland, when you went to see Disneyland, you felt like it was magical. Okay? And that's right, Lena, to be showy is to be flamboyant. It's like too much. Okay? How do you answer if someone says these things to you? You just say thank you. That's it. Or you don't say anything. You smile. You don't have to say anything necessarily. You can just say thank you. You know, when someone gives you a compliment, you look beautiful. Well, thank you. You know, there is an art to accepting a compliment. There's an art to accepting a compliment. And the way you accept a compliment says a lot about you. If you are unable to accept a compliment, it shows people that you don't feel very good about yourself. If you accept a compliment too readily, that means you think that you're too awesome. Right? So when you accept a compliment, you should do it humbly and quickly. So just a very short thank you. That's nice of you to say. Okay? Something like that. All right? The way people reply is also related to culture. For example, Chinese culture. Sure. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes, that's true. Of course. There are cultural differences. But in general, I don't think that that's a cultural difference. I think that everyone in the world, if you're given a compliment, you're handsome, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're incredible, learn how to humbly and simply say, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Okay? Just say something simple and short. Okay? Even sometimes just a simple nod just is fine. Okay? You don't have to make a big deal of it. Do I want to pass the translation exam? Do you mean for Chinese? I'm not really interested in it, no. Okay, let's see. I see you're asking questions about the IELTS exam, but what am I teaching right now? Are you listening to me? You're not. If you want me to listen to you, then I would expect you to listen to me. And I'm already speaking here about something. So you're going to have to wait for your question because I'm not talking about that right now, okay? Okay. Here, let's move on. That was good. Everybody, we had plenty of words about beautiful. Lots of words about beautiful. That was great. So I feel confident that you guys have the word beautiful under control. Let's move on to because. Because is another one that's good. Because I did this, because I did that, because I did this. You don't want to say because too much. So you can say because I did this, we should do this. Since I did this, then we should do that. As we did this, then we should do this. Due to us doing this, we should do that. Right? So you should change many times. All right? Begin. To begin. Let's begin. Let's start. Let's commence. Okay? To initiate. To initiate means to begin. All right? We're going to initiate contact. We're going to commence contact. We're going to start contact. We're going to begin contact. Okay? Kick off. There's another one. Yeah? Okay? Launch. Possibly. Yeah? Okay? Good. Let's go to the next one. I'm going a little bit fast today. I'm trying to get as many words as possible here, okay? Let's do the next one. Big. It's another good one. Big. It's large, it's huge, it's enormous, it's massive, it's gigantic, it's humongous. Okay? It's monstrous. There are many words. It's mammoth. There's a good one. Yeah. Vast. Yeah. Good. Huge. Good. Okay, yeah, so last night we had a big pizza, last night we had a large pizza, last night we had a huge pizza, we had an enormous pizza, we had a massive pizza, we had a gigantic pizza, okay, right. Big is another one, big and small. You need to have many alternative words for big and small. Colossal, there's a good one. Do you know where the word colossal comes from, Doa? You should. Do you know where the word colossal comes from? Colossal comes from the Colossus of Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes. Do you know what the Colossus of Rhodes is? Let me see if I can show you a picture. It was a Greek statue. A long time ago, there was a Greek statue called the Colossus of Rhodes, and it looked a little bit like this. The pictures they have show like it was like a man. Let me see if I can show you the picture. I don't know if you can see that, but it was like a man. It was a giant man standing over the entryway. Okay, and it was huge. It was a huge statue. So the name of the statue was the Colossus, and the city was Rhodes. It was the Colossus of Rhodes. So the word colossal comes from the statue, which was huge. Okay? Okay, let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Build. To build something, to construct something, to develop something, to erect something. Right? We're going to build a building. We're going to construct a building. We're going to develop a building. We're going to erect a building. Okay? Guys, give me just 1 second, okay? All I can hear is you coughing over here. Jesus Christ, get out of here. Come on, I'm busy. Huh? Alright. Alright, I'll clean it up later with this thing. You have to show me where it is. Alright, you gotta show me where it is and I'll do it later. Not now, okay? Okay. So, yes, to build, to construct, right, is a good word. So, take a look at this list, everybody. I'm going to post this on my moments. I'm going to post this on my moments, all right? So, if you want this list, as a matter of fact, I'm going to post it right now. One moment. So if you want this list and you want to learn more of these words, then the whole list is going to be on my page. All right? Let me just find it here. Here it is. Select. One moment. All right, if you go look at my moments after this, you will find that picture. Okay? So, those are some good words. Take a look and see how many different words we have here. Teenagers, adolescents, youths, to think, to believe, to assume, to consider, growth, development, expansion. So this one page would be really good for you to study. This one page would be really good just to keep this page and look at it every day and just try to remember some of these words. You know? Try to think about them and use them in sentences. These are very common, good words to know. All right? All right. Let me see. I think I had another one that I wanted to show you today. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, now the next set of words are going to be very difficult. Okay, so the next set of words I'm going to talk about are definitely advanced vocabulary. Okay? All right, take a look at these. All right, so here we go. The first word is abstruse. Abstruse means what? It means difficult to understand. These words are abstruse. This is an abstruse list of words. Now, no, you can't give up Okay, you can't give up. These words are not common, but let me tell you why you should learn these words. I'll tell you why. It'll make you feel better. Because guess what? If you learn these words, you know more than most natives do. Because most natives on the street, most of them don't know these words. Okay, the average person does not know what assiduous means. The average person doesn't use words like apocryphal or antediluvian or anachronistic or alacrity. So, if you want to look smarter than a native, then these are some words to use. Yeah, that's right. If you use these words, they won't understand your English. But not because your English is bad, because your English is better than theirs. Okay? So, maybe you don't need to learn all of them. Maybe you can just learn a few of them, and then it'll be really fun. You can use that word when you're around a native, and you can watch to see if what do they look like when you use that word. Do they get nervous because they don't know that word? Okay? You're just fighting to remember simple words. Okay, I understand, but Lena, these are not simple words. These are not for basic English learners. These are for advanced learners. Okay? Let's just talk about a few of them, right? So, we talked about abstruse means difficult to understand. To do something with alacrity. To do something with alacrity. He moved with alacrity means to be eager. Right? He moved with eagerness, right? So maybe you have a new employee, right? A new person who's working, and they really want to show the boss that they are a hard worker, that they work well and they work hard. So they're moving with eagerness. They're eager to do everything, right? They show like, oh yes, let me do that for you. Let me get that for you. Let me do that for you. That's to move with alacrity, to do things with alacrity. Okay, and yes, I will post this as well after we're finished. Okay? Then we have the word anachronistic. Anachronistic. In this case, it just means out of place. It doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. Okay? An anachronism is something that goes against something. Okay? Let's take a look at that word. It comes from the Latin word anachronismus, which comes from the Greek word anachronismos, which means to refer to the wrong time. Ana means against and chronos means time. So it means, really, it means something out of harmony with a specific time. But in general, the word is used to describe something that doesn't fit. It's out of place. Okay? Yeah. Let's take a look at that word a little bit more. Let's see. Anachronistic. Anachronism. So usually it's something that's not fitting in the right timeline. Okay? It's something that fits in the wrong, like for example, so when we say something is anachronistic, if you see somebody dressed in clothes from the 1950s, if you see that person today, they're going to look out of place. They are an anachronism. They're out of time. They're not fitting in the right time period. So ana meaning against and chronos meaning time. So anachronism means against time, means it doesn't fit with this time. Okay? I will post this after I'm finished. Okay? Let's look at the next one. Antediluvian. Antediluvian. What does antediluvian mean? It has two meanings. What does ante mean? A-N-T-E. The letters A-N-T-E. Do you guys know what A-N-T-E means? That's A-N-T-I. A-N-T-I means against. A-N-T-E means something different. Nope. It doesn't mean opposite. A-N-T-E means before or in front of. Okay? And so antediluvian means before something. So what does diluvian mean? Diluvian means the flood. It means the flood. So do you guys know about the story in the Bible about the big flood that destroyed everything? That's what this means. It has two meanings. One meaning is before the flood. Antediluvian means before the flood. But that's the real meaning. But when we use this word, now we use it in a more general sense that it just means something really old. Because if it's from before the flood, that's a long time ago. That's a long time ago, right? So it's antediluvian. It's old. It's very old, okay? It's out of date, okay? We usually use this word when we're talking about things that you know, like a way of thinking that's old. We say that's antediluvian, man. That means like the way we used to think 2,000 years ago. Okay? It's old-fashioned. All right? Let's do the next word. Apocryphal. Apocryphal. What does apocryphal mean? There it is. This says probably not true. Probably not true. It's apocryphal, okay? It's probably not real, not authentic, okay? He told the apocryphal story about the sword, but the truth was later revealed. So, let me look at the etymology. Hold on. So here's a funny thing. What does the word apocra mean? Apocrypha. Apocrypha, that word actually means secret. Okay? Apocryphos. These were the secret writings of the Bible, or the secret writings of unknown authorship. Like, they don't know who wrote them, but they're the secret writings. Okay? So, it's interesting because what it means is we don't know who wrote them. So because we don't know who wrote them, it's probably not true. Like, they say somebody wrote this, but probably not. It's apocryphal. Okay? It's apocryphal. So, because it means hidden or hard to understand, because we don't know who wrote it. Okay? These words are hard to pronounce as well. Yeah, they are. But they're good words to pronounce. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Assiduous. Assiduous. Assiduous, not assiduous. Assiduous. We just said it's hard to pronounce, right? Assiduous. Assiduous means hardworking or persistent. He's an assiduous worker. He's hardworking. He's an assiduous client. He's hardworking. Okay? Avaricious. Avaricious means greedy. To have avarice is to have greed. He's avaricious. To beguile someone means to charm them. He's very beguiling means he's very charming. To beguile is like magic. I'm going to beguile you. Okay? It's like to charm or to deceive someone. So to beguile is a word that means to charm someone in a bad way. Yeah. Not in a good way, in a bad way. Like a salesperson that can make you buy things because they're so charming. That's beguiling. Okay? If you meet a salesperson and you don't really want to buy anything, but the salesperson is just so charming that suddenly you start buying things, that's beguiling. Okay? All right, and bellicose. Bellicose means aggressive, like you want to argue. He has a very bellicose nature. Means he likes to argue and fight. Okay? This word, bellicose, bellicosity, comes from the word bellum. In Latin means war. Bellicus means of war. So, to be bellicose means to be inclined to fight. You like to fight. It's easy to get you to fight. You're bellicose. Okay? Yeah, willingness to show aggression. Bellicosity. Okay? Bombastic. Mr. Bombastic. To be bombastic, to have bombast, is to be pompous, to have inflated speech. Like, you're so bombastic, you speak so pompously and with such great speech. Okay? To be bombastic. Do you guys know where there's a famous song by Shaggy called Boombastic? Mr. Boombastic? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so there we go. Bombastic, pompous, right? If it's in a rap song, then it's not that much of an academic word, right? Okay, to capitulate. To capitulate means to surrender. I capitulate means I give up under pressure, right? I don't want to quit. I don't want to give up, but I'm going to. I capitulate to you. Okay, to give up unwilling. That's right. To capitulate means to give in unwillingly. Correct, Huda. Okay? So this one, I don't know if you need to learn this one or not, but I'll teach it to you. Circumlocution. Circumlocution. Circumlocution means that you use a lot of words that are indirect and wordy, and you don't say things clearly. You use too many words and it's unclear. Sometimes we call that a word salad. A word salad. Circumlocution. Circum means to go in a circle, around, to go around something, right? Let me look at this word here. So it's like beating around the bush. It's like beating around the bush, in a way, right? Like you're not speaking as directly or quickly as you could. You don't get to the point, right? You don't get to the point. You're beating around the bush. You're talking around the thing. That's what circumlocution means. So the circum part means around, and locutio meaning to speak, right? So this word means to speak around something, not directly at it. Okay? You're not speaking at it, you're speaking around it. Circumlocution. All right? The next word's a good one, cogent. Cogent means clear and convincing. He has a very cogent argument. He has a cogent argument, means it's a very clear and convincing argument. This is a good word to know. He makes a cogent point, a cogent argument, a cogent speech. Okay? Mora, the term beating around the bush, is an idiom that means to not speak directly about something. And where that comes from is from hunting. Many years ago, what they used to do was they had guys on horses that would go hunt for animals. But you would have some guys who were not on horses, they were walking around with sticks. And these guys, their job was to beat the sticks on the ground around the bushes to get the animals to come out of the bushes so that they could hunt them. Okay? So they're not hitting the bush, they're hitting around the bush. So now when we say to beat around the bush, it means to talk about something in an indirect way. You're afraid to say something directly, so you talk about it around it. You're beating around it, not at it. Okay? All right. I'm going to do a few more. Conflagration. Conflagration. A large destructive fire. Let's see. It comes directly from the Latin word conflagrationum, which means to burn up. To burn up. So, let me see something here. One moment. Yeah, so this is a word that's not going to be used very commonly, because this word, you're talking about a great fire of some kind, right? So, for example, the city of Chicago had a great fire, the Great Fire of Chicago, right? That would be a conflagration. But how often do we talk about great fires? Not that often. You know, we talk about forest fires and brush fires and stuff. Those could be conflagrations, okay? Large destructive fires, okay? Wildfires would probably be the way we'd talk about it now, okay? But a long time ago, every city was made of what? A long time ago, all the cities were made of what? They were made of wood. Yeah. And so what does that mean? That means that a long time ago, cities burning was much more common, right? Now, when we have a fire in a city, usually it's just one building and then they put the fire out, right? But a long time ago, the buildings were all made of wood and they were all close together. So if you had one building catch fire, that means that the whole neighborhood would catch fire. Maybe the whole city, right? So these fires, conflagrations, were much more common in the past because that's the way cities were. They were built with wood and they were built close together, and they used fire for candles and for heat, right? For light and heat. So fires were a lot more common. So the word conflagration used to be used a lot more commonly, but we don't use it very much anymore because we don't have them that much anymore. Okay? Corpulent. Here's a good word. Corpulent means fat. He's very corpulent means he's fat, he's overweight. The corpulent attorney, the corpulent judge, the corpulent construction worker means fat. That's all. So this is like a word that you could use where it's funny, but when you use a word that's an academically advanced word, like a high level word, it becomes less insulting. So if I say you are fat, that's insulting. That's insulting. But if I say he is corpulent, suddenly they're not sure if it's insulting or not. Rotund. Rotund would be another one. Rotund is another word that's kind of like, did you just call me fat? When you say someone is corpulent or when you say someone is rotund, it's kind of like it's an academically high level word, so usually that's a compliment when you give somebody a high level word. But in this case, it's a high level word that's kind of insulting. Okay? Yeah, it sounds more polite, you know, but it's not. He's corpulent, means he's fat. Okay? Deleterious, that's a good word. I love these words. Deleterious is harmful, damaging. The deleterious effects of climate change. The deleterious effects. Isn't it more sarcastic? You mean to say corpulent? No. It's usually used in a direct way. Your casino is becoming corpulent. I don't know how your casino could become corpulent. You mean the people in the casino? That's right, it sounds polite because they don't understand. Sometimes that's the fun thing about advanced language. If you know advanced language, you can say very insulting things that don't sound insulting. They sound like you're being very academic, but you're actually insulting them directly to their face. But they don't know it because they don't understand the language. It's kind of fun sometimes. Okay, I'm going to do just a few more. Deleterious means harmful. Okay, the harmful effects of something, the deleterious effects of something. A demagogue. Oh, gee, I don't know how we can't learn this word. Everybody in this world should know this word now because the leader of the free world right now is a demagogue. Manipulative political leader is a demagogue. Okay, and this word, let me take a look at this word. It comes from the Greek word demagogos, which means a popular leader or a leader of the mob. Demos meaning people, common people, and agos meaning leader. So basically it means somebody who will do anything to get power. They will say and do anything. Okay? That's a demagogue. All right, I think that's enough for today. We have so many good words here. Desultory, diaphanous, didactic, disparate, ebullient, eclectic, egregious, ineverate, and ennui, ephemeral, esoteric, evanescent, excoriate, exculpate, exigent, fastidious, fatuous, feckless, fecund, garrulous, grandiloquent, harangue, hegemony, iconoclast, ignominious, imbroglio. That's a good one. Let's do that one as our last word, an imbroglio. Do you guys know this word? This one, Ornella, you must know this one. If you're Italian, you must know this one. It comes from the Italian word imbrogliare, which means to confuse or to tangle someone. So an imbroglio is it's a confusing, messy situation. This is quite the imbroglio you got into. Okay? Clear as mud and You don't know any of the words? Again, I told you, these are going to be difficult words. But I will tell you this. I know these words. Actually, I will tell you that there are 100 words here, and I think there are about 2 or 3 words on this list that even I didn't know. Okay? There were 2 or 3 words, maybe, that I didn't know. So, what does that mean? That means, 1, these are very difficult words. But it also means that these are very good words. These are high-level words. Okay? Sometimes it's good to challenge yourself. If you can do something really difficult, then it means that you can do everything below that too. Okay? So, most people don't know these words. Don't you want to? Just because of that? Don't you want to know that? Just because I told you, most people don't know these words. So if you do, that means your English is pretty amazing. Okay? I am going to post this list right now. I'll post it on my Moments right now. Hold on. Here it comes. This one, right? Is this the one I did? Let's see. 100 challenging words. Yep, this one. Abstruse, right. Okay, select. One moment. All right, I just posted it. Okay? So, both of the things I did today are posted on my Moments. You can go download that and learn those words. Okay? And I told you, these are not common words. These are difficult words. These are words for the IELTS test. These are words for the TOEFL test. These are words if you are studying advanced English, or you are getting your master's degree or your PhD. That's the level of language we're dealing with. Okay, this is like master's level, PhD level language. Okay? All right, so if you are new and you've never followed me before, then you should. I've been on Hello Talk for almost 12 years. I have about 82,000 followers here. They follow me to learn English. You're not going to get all of your answers in one day. I can't answer all of your questions in one day, but if you follow me, 82,000 people ask me questions. So I have answered every question that you can imagine about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, reading, writing, listening, speaking, public speaking, confidence, interviews, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, traveling, business. I have answered all of the questions. So, follow me here. Number 1. That's the first thing you should do. You can go to my website. Go to this link tree and you'll find my website. You can follow my website. You can find my YouTube channel. This is on YouTube right now. When I'm finished, it will be uploaded to YouTube. You can watch it again. you can watch it again. All right, so go to my YouTube. There's also a podcast you can watch or listen to. Sorry. So go to my link tree. You can find my YouTube. You can find my website. You can find my podcast. Everything is on my link tree right there. All right, and you can follow me. I'm here about 5 or 6 times a week. Okay, I'm here at least 5 times a week, and I teach many things. But if you want a free teacher, then you must follow me. Okay? If you want a teacher who will answer any question you have anytime you have it, then you must hire a teacher. Okay? But if you want to follow me and learn from me for free, then you can here. All right? Or you can buy my lessons on my website. If you want personal lessons, buy my lessons. One lesson from me. If you get one 30-minute lesson from me, I promise you it will help you in ways that you can't imagine. You don't need to buy 50 lessons from me. If you buy one, it will be beneficial to you. Okay? Go to my website. Here's my website. Go to my website. You can find my lessons there. Okay? All right. I have to go. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for following. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you live. And I will see you guys again tomorrow, okay? All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.